That celebrity is sitting at the next table, ready just to talk to you.
Springer talks to Tony Curtis and Chris Tarrant. Friday at 10, ITV.
Mr. Darcy, your breeches, they're magnificent.
Pure virgin Muller yogurt in a dangerous liaison between real passion fruit and peach. Passion fruit and peach fruit corner.
Oh, Mr. Darcy, I am undone.
Life would be duller without Muller.
The new bagless Electrolux Cyclone picks up dirt with powerful cyclonic action. It keeps your air virtually allergen-free with true HEPA filtration. It costs less, so you'll pick up quite a lot of savings too. We've put a new spin on cyclonics, affordability. And coming soon, the world's first self-propelled cyclone by Electrolux.
Paws and tails, furry tummies and toes. Every part of everybody loves very clean clothes. Here's a little something that nobody knows. There's a Tigger toy box at Sainsbury's with fairy non-bios.
Buy big in Britain to give you 6,000 great price used cars.
Save almost £2,000 against new on this W plate, delivery mileage Nissan Micra with power steering, sunroof and much more.
Just brilliant value at only £5,995. Great savings in the UK with only a £99 deposit, just £29 a week.
Another one of our new offers.
There's a Dixon deal for you.
Every time you go out on the roads, you face a hidden and deadly threat from drivers who don't see you coming, ignore road signs, and are even on drugs. But these are not boy racers. They're elderly drivers. In Tonight with Trevor McDonald, Thursday at 10 on ITV.
Hi, on This Morning Heart to Heart, Stephanie Powers is back, turning wine expert for the day. And here live, John Boy Walton. All these Americans flocking to the British stage. And this morning, Midday Money.
Meg Ryan's on the show with Phoebe from Friends, Carl Wilde with another postcard from a water garden in the Caribbean, and summer fashion for anybody size 16 or over. And we'll see you at 10:30.
Coming up, the regional news after the latest from ITN.
Good afternoon. The headlines and details of what's ahead on the ITV Evening News. Britain's most extensive investigation into the safety of mobile phones is expected to make unprecedented safety recommendations to protect children. It says youngsters may be more vulnerable to radiation emission and calls for limits on the time they spend on the phones. Our Consumer Affairs correspondent will have the full story. The Paddington rail crash inquiry opened today with the revelation that the driver who went through a red light had a criminal conviction. It was said that if he'd been made to fill in an application form, he wouldn't have got the job. Victims' relatives also expressed fury today at the way the disaster's been handled. And the Cannes Film Festival opened today. A jury of 10 people, including Kristen Scott Thomas and Jeremy Irons, will decide who gets the coveted Palme d'Or award. We report from the French Riviera. All that and the rest of the day's top stories on the ITV Evening News at 6:30.
Good afternoon and welcome to Calendar. 8 men are in custody this afternoon after a friend plunged to his death on the holiday island of Tenerife. 27-year-old Paul Feenan from Rotherham had been staying in the popular resort of Playas de las Americas when he fell from the 4th floor of a block of flats. He died later from his injuries in hospital. This is what our reporter in Spain, Bill Bond, had to say earlier today.
This man fell from the 4th floor of the apartment block where he was staying along with the other men and died within a few minutes of reaching hospital. It appears that there is some suspicion that it might be more than an accident, and therefore the men have all been arrested and are making statements to the police, but we're not privy to what they've said in those statements. And then they will be taken before an examining magistrate who will decide what should happen.
And we'll have the latest from Bill Bond in Spain on Calendar tonight. A 7-year-old girl from West Yorkshire has today won more than £3 million in damages from a hospital found guilty of negligence when she was born. Hannah Haynes and her twin sister Jenny were born at Airedale General Hospital in Steeton, West Yorkshire in July 1992. The High Court in London was told that while Jenny has grown into a vivacious youngster, Hannah can neither walk nor speak and will require constant care for the rest of her life. The wife of a football fan who was trampled to death by a police horse has told an inquest she was not initially told that he died. Terence Coles, who was a lifelong Swansea fan, had travelled to South Yorkshire to see the third division's vital match with Rotherham United. There were a number of pitch invasions during the game on Sunday, and Mr Coles died as police tried to stop violence between rival fans before kick-off. His wife Christine told an inquest she believed her husband had suffered a minor injury, but was only later told that he had died. The inquest was adjourned to a date yet to be fixed so that his funeral can take place. A teacher from Sheffield has been awarded £15,000 in damages from South Yorkshire Police after she was unlawfully arrested, assaulted and held in police cells. Joanna Laramani says she was treated with so much aggression by a woman police officer who went to her home to see her boyfriend's driving documents, she dialed 999 to get help, but more than a dozen police officers descended on her home to arrest her.
I was arrested with handcuffs. And I was frog marched literally in bare feet from my own house in front of all my neighbours.
A man's appeared in court charged with wounding with intent to cause grievous bodily harm, and this followed a stabbing in York which took place at the weekend. Police were called to two houses in the Dringhouses area on Saturday evening where two men were found with stab wounds. One of them is still seriously ill in hospital. 23-year-old Simon Hughes from York appeared before magistrates earlier today and was then remanded in custody. A North Yorkshire hospital where more than 100 patients and staff were hit by a stomach bug is now fully open once more. 7 wards were closed and operations were cancelled when the bug reached its peak at York District Hospital last month. Now only 1 patient remains affected. A health minister is expected to visit a landfill tip on the outskirts of Leeds, which is at the centre of health fears. Peckfield Quarry, which is in Mickerfield, is to be the focus of a government inquiry. It follows a Friends of the Earth report 2 years ago that said landfills could cause birth defects in surrounding areas. The MP who helped secure the investigation is expecting Health Minister Yvette Cooper to visit the former quarry once this report is complete.
This study over the summer will be looking at all the health statistics, including those around Mickerfield. So I feel fairly confident that when that study is finally published, that we'll have concrete facts to go upon and either confirm people's fears or set their minds at ease.
Meanwhile, Doncaster Council have deferred a decision on proposals to open a new landfill site just a few hundred yards from homes in a South Yorkshire village. Plans have been made to open the site in Carcroft near Doncaster, much against the wishes of villagers. During a meeting of Doncaster Council's planning committee, objectors gathered outside to spell out their message loud and clear: no landfill in Carcroft. Waste disposal firm Onyx UK has applied for planning permission to dump household, industrial and commercial rubbish over the next 10 years. But opponents say although the area is a former pit tip, it's now a pleasant woodland area, and they say the dump is not needed.
We want to make a big enough protest to say to the councillors, throw this proposal out because it's not on. It's too near our villages and it will cause a heck of a lot of environmental damage, and we're not in favour of landfill, we're in favour of recycling.
No, it may not bear much resemblance, in fact it certainly doesn't, much resemblance to Yellowstone National Park, but Bradford City Centre now has its very own ranger. 55-year-old Chris Bland has been recruited by the council to make the city a friendlier, safer and cleaner place to be. Chris, a former policeman and private detective, will welcome visitors as well as tackle litter problems. And since he's also worked as a cabaret comedian and club crooners, shoppers may be in for a treat.
If I never sing another song, I take another vow. I will survive, but I don't know how. That's all you get in.
Well done, Chris Bland. The new ranger for Bradford. Young inventors from Bradford have been showing off their army of robots to a leading film producer. Lord David Putnam, no less. There he is, inspected and in fact rode the robots outside the National Museum of Photography, Film and Television before he gave a talk on innovation. Well, that's just about it from me for now. Don't forget to join Krista and me for Calendar tonight, when amongst the many items we're going to be hearing from our man John Shires, who's sailing the high seas. Best place for him, I say. Calendar 5 to 6.
Hello, on tonight at 5:30, one of our best-loved actors who must be haunted by the phrase "allo, allo." Georgie Spanton sticks her oar in on board HMS York. Plus, we meet the young golfer from our region with the drive to hit the big time. That's tonight at 5:30.
Crime Stoppers, sponsored by Stay Bright Windows.
Police investigating an alleged deception want to talk to this man captured on security camera at a travel agent in Yorkshire. It's alleged a number of stolen travellers' cheques were exchanged for cash in Leeds and York using a stolen Portuguese passport for identification. If you know who this man is, call Crime Stoppers on 0800 555 111, 0800 555 111.
Old El Paso turns an ordinary meal into something really special. So if you think of authentic Mexican taste, think Old El Paso. Old El Paso. Fun comes in yellow boxes. Join the fun with Old El Paso's new burrito kit and roll your own authentic Mexican burritos. New from Old El Paso.
Tell us what happened! I've got to get to Greg's!
Nothing satisfies like a golden Greg's pasty, freshly baked in the shop from only 53p. For great taste and great value, you've got to get to Greg's.